of mindful movement. Hiya, I'm Kerry from Mobilates. I may have said that twice. I don't know quite when I came on then, but I'm here with you at Virtual Village Hall for 30 minutes of gentle, mindful movement. You can do it standing, or you can do it sitting, and you can also do it from a bed because we're going to be lying down partway through. So you can sit on the edge of your bed, like I've got my couch here, and then you can just take it and just lie down on your bed. It's a good idea to take the duvet off so you've got a bit of flatter surface. Now I can't see you, but you can see me, but you are welcome to comment. I shall look out in the comment box. I'm just going to put comments on so I can see. And you can leave me a comment during the activity or right at the end. It's always good to hear how you're doing. But we're going to start with something a little bit different, borrowing a little qigong. So we're going to start shaking, just gentle shaking, jiggling, moving slightly, anything you like. And you can be doing this sitting, standing, and you can let an arm go, a leg go, have a little jig around, whatever feels good. Hiya, Irene, nice to see you again. And you can feel your breath deepen as you do this. You can even close your eyes if you dare, but you don't have to. And just keep that jigging going. It's good if you're feeling a little bit cold and the temperature has changed this week. And just go with what your body wants to do, where it wants to take you. Oh, I can feel my breath deepening. A little bit more. And then let everything be still. You can take your hands just to the center of your chest. Keep your eyes shut if you like. Hopefully you're feeling some tingles. That blood's pushing around your body. And then gently pushing your arms up and out. Really gentle circles. And bring your breath into this. Inhale as you push up. Exhale as you push out. Couple more. Last one. Oh, that was a good one. And then we're just going to position ourselves. So if you're standing, your feet are about hip distance. Feet are forward. Soft knees. Just trying to bring yourself up a little taller here. If you're sitting, feet at that hip distance. Legs are in this 90-degree shape. 2 fists between your knees. And then sitting or standing, you can take your hands to your hips or your belly and your back. And we're just going to start a little pelvic tilt. I'm just coming to the front half of my chair. So I'm going to just roll forward so I can see my belly's coming out a bit more here. And my back's arched if I show you from that side. You can see what I mean. And now I'm going to roll back a little onto my sitting bones, the bony bits under my bum. My bum is soft. My belly muscles are just tightening. So I can do this move. And you can see it's quite small. If you just watch my back there, you can see it go in and out, in and out. And bringing it to standing as well. That's it. And then make it so small that you stopped. And now you're in between that sticking out stage and that tucked under stage. You're somewhere in the middle. Then either let your arms hang down or you can just rest on your legs if you're sitting. We'll give our shoulders just a little roll here. We'll come back to them in a minute. Tuck your chin back. And when you tuck your chin back, you get all your extra chins in. That's it. And then you can start a little bit of rotation. Now it's like your head is a turntable or it's on a turntable. So your chin doesn't dip down or up, it just stays parallel to the floor with some of those extra chins underneath. And then take it to one side, look up, and we're going to roll down here, keeping a bit of extra chin under there. It's almost like you've got an orange tucked away under there, so your head doesn't drop forward and strain your neck. So we're stretching, definitely not straining. And with any of these moves, you take it gently and to what works for your body. So it shouldn't ever be painful. It might feel like the good sort of, oh, that's a good stretch, gets in there, but not an ow sort of feeling. Back to the center, rolling up. You can take your ear over to one side, and back to the other side. If you find your neck is very mobile and you can really go a long way, you can resist it slightly. Press your hand to your head and your head to your hand. And that's what it would look like on the other side. But if you don't need that, just holding that gently. And feeling your shoulders whilst you're doing these. Just come back a little. That's my shoulders normally. I'm just going to take them back. And when I do that, I can feel the scapula, the shoulder blades. They just hug into my spine a little bit. Right, let's get those shoulders moving. Oh, that's better. Always feels like a bit of a release, this one. And if you're a little unsure about your shoulders, go alternate shoulders. So if you've got one that's stiff or an old injury or even a new injury, that's a good way just to check in with how they are and then go into your doubles. Lovely. Right, let's get into some side bends. You might want to take your legs just a little bit wider. Just sliding your hands down your thighs. So I'm pulling a little bit here, but not really hard, just to help me be upright. But the work's going on at the sides. If I'm sitting, hands are just sliding a bit down my legs, a bit down the chair. And trying not to let your head lead the way. I think I'm guilty there as well. That's it. And then as you're doing this, you can take your arm up a little. Just start alternating. That might be enough. If you want more, you can bring your arm sort of almost overhead. It can be here, it can go right over. The further it goes, the bigger pull and stretch you'll feel there. And a nice little extra to do, I've got a couple of little extras for this one. You can start to rotate your head towards your arm as you swap over. Gives you a little neural sort of glide. It works along the nerves in your neck, and down your back. Just keeping it really soft. And then I'm bringing my head back to the center now. Another thing you can do is as you go over, just hold it there. And on your next breath in, try and breathe here, really into these ribs. Feel that big stretch of the muscles between your ribs. And breathe out. Coming over. Let's do the other side. So just holding it there. I'm going to breathe into these ribs. Oh, I can see it puffing out then. And as I breathe out, coming back to the center. Another little shoulder roll. Right, next, let's do some arm circles. So I'm just bringing that arm forwards. And then as I get to the top, I turn my palm outwards. Now you see my palm's out. You can even flex your hand back towards your arms. Depends how it feels. Wriggling your fingers through the air. That's nice. You can really sense the air. Or you can make it like you're combing through the air. So your hands just move down, no wriggles. Just the air running between your fingers. Oh, this music's a nice calm one today. Very restful. And then you can start to bring heel raises in. Let's do them by themselves first. Just a single one, bringing my heel up. That's it from the side. That's it. And as I do this, I'm watching that my ankles just go straight ahead, ignoring any clicks. I felt some click from my knee. Nothing to worry about. It's just one of those little air popping sounds that you get in your joints. And then you can start to take alternate arms. Like you're doing a very slow motion march, but it's sort of soft and flowing. It's not military. That's it. And if you want to take it so your leg comes up a little higher, if you were sitting, it might look like this. Oh, nearly got my arms and legs all mixed up then. Now, if you end up with the same side going, doesn't matter, you're still moving, it's all good. And then take that down, plant your legs a little wider. Now, if you're standing, let your legs move as you twist around to look behind. If you're sitting, slide your hands along your thighs. And both ways, you're getting a gentle rotation. And if you want more when you're sitting, you can start going alternate knee to chair. If you want more when you're standing, just start looking further behind you. Feel a little bit of rush of air as your arms spiral round. Oh, I can hear that clicking knee again. Bit of body percussion. Back to the center. Let's do a little bit for our feet. Just starting to roll on the ball of your foot. You can see the legs coming along too. So that's getting a little opening into your hip. Let's take it the other way. Other side. That's it, really massaging across the ball of that foot. Other way. And then we can go for a little bit of extra footwork. I'm going to give you a bit more foot cam for this. So I've got toe socks on, so there are gaps between each toe's got its own little bit of sock. I'm trying to bring up my big toes there, and my little toes. If I turn to the side and show you on this foot, there's my big toe going up and down. I practice this a lot, so it will do it. But when I started doing it, I had to tell it for a long time before it would move. Now my big toes are better than my little toes. I'm trying to get my little toe to go up and down. Oh, it doesn't want to do it, so you really have to just keep sending those messages. One day, it will surprise you. It's not today for my little toe. Let's try that big toe again. That's going. It's a really good one to practice this. Getting those big toes, and then try all the other toes. Keep the big toe on the floor. Pilates for feet, but it's a good one, really good for balance. And then just spread your feet out really nice and wide. Feel those space between your toes. And we'll do a little bit of opening for the chest next. So just bringing your arms into this sort of goalpost cactus sort of position, bringing them in and out. You can take them up and down. That's it. And if they don't want to go very high, that's all right. And if you like, you can try taking them up a little here. Mine definitely don't go very high there. And you might find that when you do that, your arms don't meet. Your hands might meet, your elbows might still be apart. That's okay. And just keep that flow going. And let's do the same now with our hips. Got a nice opening on the chest. Give your arms a little bit of a rest. Let's start just opening up those hips. So it's like I'm drawing circles on the floor. And if that's okay and you've got balance, you can lift your leg up like that. And you can always lean onto something for balance. And if you're doing it in the chair, drawing those circles on the floor, just the same. Taking your leg out as wide as you can. And you might be doing it like that as well. Now you might get a little clunking in the hip. And that's often where there's just a little band of tendon attached to the muscle that just flicks over a bit of bone. So as long as it's not hurting, it's a bit of a sort of weird sound. But it's just the nature of how things are in the hip a lot of the time. As long as it's not painful, it's generally okay. I think that's enough for that side. Let's go for the other side. So starting those circles, the ball of my foot is just gliding on the floor. And then if you want to take it up a little higher, try to keep the hips, whoops-a-daisy, level as you're circling out. Just feeling this opening here. So this bit of me staying forwards, just so I can get this opening in the hip. Last one. And let's have legs a little wider, feet are pointing outwards. If you're sitting, legs are wide and you're sitting on the chair. And then some side stretches again. The hands just sneaking up the sides into this sort of teapot shape. We call this little teapot in Mobilates. We always know what it is when we say that. And you can take it really slow, or you can do it really a little bit faster. Whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to go into a roll down. Different sorts of roll downs that you can do. I really like this one. Legs are wide, feet are turned out. I'm just sending my bottom back like I'm just about to sit on something, resting my hands on my thighs. Back is straight. That's as far as I'm going to go. I'm trying to not have any tension here. Next thing is I'm going to tip my bottom under. There it goes. And as it tips under, now it's going up my back. It ripples right up, and then my head is looking downwards. Now at this position, I'm going to push up through my thighs. My glutes were squeezing hard. Then I'll do one more like that. Rippling up, pulling my belly towards my back. To this position, squeezing my glutes, pushing up. If I'm sitting down, nice wide legs, just the same. Hinge forwards. Now tilt that bottom under, and I can feel my belly sort of scooping in. Push through your hands. Harder to squeeze your glutes when you're sitting. Give it a good go. Hinging forwards with a straight back, that's the most important bit. And then as much tucking under of your bottom as you can do, and just keep it tucking under so it ripples all the way up your back. This puts less strain on your lower back. So if you've got osteoporosis or spinal issues, this is often the gentler option than a standard sort of roll down. Perhaps one more of those. And then we're going to make our way down to whichever surface you're lying on. So it might be a sofa or a bed. I'm using my mat because my sofa's a little far away. And we're going to do something on our sides to start. And I'm going to give you some different options. But take your time getting down there. There's no hurry. I'm going to be here the whole time. You might also want a cushion. I know I like one for my head. And the first way you can do this is so that your forearm is under your shoulder. So watch, it's not here or even here, right under your shoulder. So you can see this is all in line. And I'm watching that I'm not leaning into my shoulder. I'm trying to press away from the mat. Now watch my body here. If I put my t-shirt a little tighter, that's it. Naturally, I'm sitting like that, almost like I'm at the beach. And so there's a bit of a banana shape to my body. It's curving that way. But I'm going to pull up, like I'm trying to pull my waist away from something cold. Now, if this is too much for your shoulder, take it to lying down. Legs are the same. They're bent. I'm bottom, back. Head is in line. Just going to put my head on a pillow here. But concentrating on this bit, I'm right on my side, so I'm not tipping forwards. I'm going to put my hand right here. Now, at the moment, I'm squashing my hand with my waist. I'm going to take a breath in. And as I breathe out, I'm going to pull away. Ooh, it's a little bit of space under there, I promise. And then I'm going to let it go down. You can see it sort of slumps down. I go into that banana again. Take a breath in. And as I breathe out, bringing that waist up. So this really strengthens these side muscles, obliques. So whether you're doing it like this or like this, and you can, if you find it a bit strained on the arm, put a cushion underneath, especially under the elbow. So there's me lying on the beach, pulling away. Breathe in here, Blow it out there. Last one. And then we're coming to lying down. You can have a pillow under your head. We might as well be super comfy. And we'll start nice and easy with our legs together. Take your heels out, toes forwards, perfectly in line. Have a little wriggle. Settle yourself into the mat. That's better. Palms up. And then slide one foot away. And bring it back. And all the power is here, not really in your legs. It's here. That's, especially on the pulling back, that's helping control everything. And I don't mind how you're breathing, as long as you're breathing. Nice and slow and steady. Hopefully your socks aren't being peeled off. That's a little thing that can happen, especially on a bed. And then you can have your arms up. So my palms are facing. And that just makes it a little less stable. And the next thing you can do, if I just still my legs for a moment, is we can reach those hands upwards, like I'm trying to give somebody a present. And then you can see my shoulders are no longer on the mat. Then let's take them down. And then reach those arms forwards. The arms don't bend, they just stay gently straight. And they're coming down. I'll take a breath in. As I breathe out, reaching those arms forward, my head and neck stays where it is. Lovely. Breath in. As you breathe out, reach away. Breathing in, last one, breathing out. And then take your arms down. Right, next, we're going to do something with our legs up. So you might want to have your hands underneath your back like this, or a pillow or a cushion underneath, and it's the very lower part of your back, your sort of sacrum, tail end of your back. So pop that under first, and then we're going to take one leg up towards our chest and take it down. Other leg towards our chest and take it down. Just getting that feeling so you're used to this coming inwards a little bit. And at the moment, my back's staying in the same place, but you might find you start to sort of curve into your mat a little bit. It's okay. Just gently encouraging your legs this way. Right, next, I'm going to come in and then press up. That's it, back down. Just keeping this gentle movement going. That's it. And you can use your hands to help. They can help stabilize your leg if it feels a bit wobbly. Just keeping it nice and flowing. That's it. And then I'm just going to start cycling with one leg. And you can keep this really close, so it's like this. Or you can reach a really long way, even your toe, just brushing along the mat. Let's go for the other side. So you can keep it small and close, so that leg doesn't reach too far away, it doesn't straighten. All depends how everything's feeling. If it's feeling okay, and your head should be feeling nice and relaxed, no tension there. I can turn my palms up, that would definitely be nicer. And they can be close, further away. Further away gives you more support. Right, I think we're ready for both legs. So let's take them into our chest. Stretch one. And let's go for little ones first. Now your belly muscles have to work pretty hard here. The further away your legs go from you like that, the harder they work. So it's up to you. You can keep them really close, really little cycles like you're on a tiny little bike, or you can go a little bit further, stretch those legs, or you can work at a slightly different angle, and that works it a bit harder. even brushing those toes on the mat. And that's definitely working this a little bit harder. Once it gets a bit much, just bring your legs in, have a little break, a little rock. We can go back to it. We can do a few more. Palms up again. Oh, that's good. Really trying to stretch. Oh, working that belly really hard now. Don't need crunchies or sit-ups. This will do the trick. And then bring those legs into your chest. Little rock from side to side. That's it. And then you can take your cushion out. Right under my head again. We can tee our arms. Let's just say you're in like a big letter T shape. Just move my plait out of the way. That's it. And you can let your legs have a little sway. So I'm definitely keeping everything from here on the mat, and then you can see my hips start to come away, my feet come away. My knees stay about the same distance apart all that time. That's it. And if you like, you can bring your legs closer together and try the same thing. I feel like I can't move as far, but it still feels good. And the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with where it's going. You think, yeah, I could go a bit further, I'm okay. And then you can just hold it and breathe into it. And swapping over, pulling down into the mat. We're going again. You can take those legs wider and dip the knees down. Windscreen wipers, this is often called. You can see why. And you can see my feet are just shifting around. The feet do the steering on this one. And you can even hold it there and take your head to the opposite side. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bringing everything back to the center over the other way. I think I must do this exercise almost every day. Every time I do Pilates, I think I end up with this one and the legs going from side to side. It's a lovely spine stretch, gets into the legs and the hips. And then take yourself over to the other side, because we haven't done that waist stretch on the other side. So you might be rolling away like that from me. That's okay, I can't see you, it's okay. But I'm gonna roll the other way so you can see me. And you could be lying down and pulling your waist up like that. Don't mind what you do with the bottom hand as long as your head's comfortable. You could be arm under the shoulder, so you've got your forearm here, right on the side of your hip. You can have a hand to steady if you feel like you're going to rock forwards. And then you can see I'm making that curved banana like that, and then pulling away. At the same time, trying to push away here so I don't sink into that shoulder. That doesn't feel very good when I do that. Just because you're pushing all your weight into that joint. That's good. Well done. Couple more of these. And then take yourself to sitting. So it might be sitting on your bed, your sofa, your mat. And let's have legs out. And from here you can bring your toes towards you. Have your hands behind you. Again, pushing away so you don't sink like that. You're pushing yourself back. Now if you've got tight calves, this may be quite intense. Just lessen it off. Just take them backwards and forwards a little. But tight calves, it can often, problems with your knees, problems with your back particularly, tight calves and hamstrings. all linked together. And then take your legs and your feet nice and long. So just trying to lengthen your feet rather than scrunching the toes up. And trying to avoid cramp, which can be a little challenging. I always find I have to do a lot of that and wiggle my feet around if I feel like I'm getting cramp. And you can let the feet roll out a little bit and in. And the knees come along for the ride. And it can be really small movements. It can be bigger movements. It depends how much rotation there is in your hip bones. And we're all different. And then from this position, this is a nice thing to do. Now, as I do that, my bottom comes off the floor there. That's okay. Get a nice big stretch all down this side. And if you want your legs bent, if that's more comfortable, you can do it with your legs bent. You might find that your bum starts to shuffle down the mat, closer to the screen. And you can see my feet rotate, my legs rotate with it. It's just nice, loose, flowing sort of movement. And then we'll just move backwards a little bit for your hands just to finish. So just rotating your thumbs each way, fingers each way. And some fingers may go more easily than others. That's it. And then bringing your thumb in. Oh, now my thumb gets quite stiff. I find this quite challenging. It's almost like it's doing a little windscreen wiper across your palm. Now this side is good. On this side, a bit stiff. And you may find the same, but it's good to work it. And then we're just going to make like a little hook with our fingers. And then roll it down a little bit further. That's it. And a little further, so you get almost like a little fist. And now the thumb can join in. It's almost like a flower or a fern, furling and unfurling. And then just wiggle your fingers. And you're done. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be with you again. Thank you, Village Hall. Always good to be here. Don't forget to give me a little comment, say hello. I'll check back on it later. Bye. See you next week.